RSL Nation, welcome back.
Hey!
Hello.
We are back. We are back. We're back.
Look
It's
who's
been.
back,
By the way, guys, I've been
back
really
again.
bored. Yeah, who's back?
You
Thank
live
you.
way out in the middle of nowhere.
But here's what I mean by bored.
It's true.
I
It's
Oh,
true.
I've been bored because um there's there's been there's been soccer games.
There
All
have
right,
been. Oh, it's the Olympics, and you got Leagues Cup, and no MLS.
but I just haven't been plugged in as much as normal. I don't know about you guys,
I
or
don't
unless
know.
you.
I've been watching as much as I can. Been watching the Olympics. Been watching a bunch of Leagues Cup. I, the NWSL Summer Challenge Cup. Dude, shout out to the Royals
They picked up a big
dominating.
win.
That
That was
was
a huge win.
huge win.
Yeah, huge win
So
with a golazo. There you go. Nice
Like
to
old
rep it right
school,
there.
old
I, I've
school.
I've been definitely enjoying these Olympics. I've been watching sports that I don't even watch. Only during the Olympics, like handball. Handball definitely the coolest sport right now during the Olympics. Besides,
Handball is so cool.
like
Okay.
handball needs to become a bigger thing in the U.S.
It should be. Also, field hockey.
Oh, oh,
Right?
U.S. women's rugby
Rugby
sevens. Did you see that ending?
Yes,
That was
and
incredible.
the stiff arm. That was nasty.
guys. That was. There are a lot of different sports. I mean, if we really want to touch on maybe a little bit of soccer, um, the U.S. got second in their group. I think expected. I don't know.
Not in the way I think we expected it to happen. They got embarrassed that first game, and then they found their own in the other two games.
Some
We
people
were
say that the
we were this close to having Argentina USA in the knockout.
we were that close. We were one goal
Very
away
close.
from having that. But here's the thing: as Argentines, would you have rather have an Argentina US or an Argentina France again?
Argentina US because we know France is the harder opponent. So
Christian?
I'm happy either way.
Fine. You guys,
Sorry to
you
be
guys are
the
boring.
cop out. Sorry to be the cop out here.
Seriously, like for me, if we're gonna go like football history wise, I definitely want to go against France.
Oh yeah,
Mind you, Argentina is gonna get whooped. Argentina is not that good on their youth levels. Trust me.
yeah.
Um, I think it's going to be a 2-0, maybe a 3-0 loss.
well, the men played in rugby sevens, and you saw all the French fans just booing all the Argentines.
Oh,
So we're gonna get that same level of hatred in the soccer knockout round.
what are
That's
they
what I'm
bitter
saying.
about?
I don't know, just this little chant that happened.
I'll leave it there.
Bitter.
Bitter. um, guys, even though I was a little bit bored, there still was a lot of soccer going on.
Mhm.
Um, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go over um, just a bit of RSL news that came out today, Tuesday. So luckily we're doing this at night because we got all the news. Like what did it just came out like an hour ago or something
Yeah,
like
because
that.
usually when we do our episodes at 4 o'clock or something, news happens. We're like, oh, guess we got to save it for next week.
Yeah. So
Not
we're gonna,
tonight.
yeah, not tonight. So we're gonna go over that. We're gonna go over Leagues Cup because that's what's going on right now.
Mhm.
We're gonna go over some of each one of our surprises or the games that we've liked so far. Then we're gonna get into our games because, well, why do we do the shows? Because we want to talk about RSL. So we're gonna talk about RSL's game against Atlas and then the game against Houston. So, um, I'm going to start off this one because I always let you guys start off. So how about this? RSL today announced. Well, RSL didn't announce, by the way. It was Tom.
It was Tom.
Tom announced that RSL has officially signed a defender. Are we not excited about a defender?
People have been asking. Ask and you shall receive.
Exactly. Javane Brown coming straight over from the Vancouver Whitecaps. Um, he is a center back, right back. Um, in their system, he's been playing. Well, they've been playing a three back. He's been playing the right side of the three back. So,
Mhm.
um, now your guys' turn. Give me your thoughts. I'm going to start with Christian first, and then we'll go with Marcos.
Well, taking a look at his stats over This season, he's made 16 appearances, so he's played a decent number of games. I've started about half of them, but the thing that surprises me is that no goals, 1 assist, and 1 yellow card. So some people are like, so what is he doing? Just kind of filling space on the field? No, to me that screams that he is definitely, definitely a defender, and
Mhm.
uh,
Yeah.
and I think it's a smart signing. Whether he will start or not, I'm not sure. I need to see him play. Uh,
Well, I mean, let's kind of go off of history. Give me your opinion off of history. He has been the starter for Vancouver Whitecaps for a bit, and we've been kind of off and on with our right back. I mean, maybe throw out something right there.
yeah, I definitely valid. Especially with the string of games that RSL has coming up. There's some definite chances to get him some good minutes. I would maybe hold off from him with uh Leagues Cup, maybe,
Hmm,
maybe. Um,
interesting.
I would I would bring him on as a substitute against Atlas, and then depending on how he performs against Atlas, see if he starts or not versus Houston.
Hmm, interesting. Marcos.
Yeah, I'm kind of like obviously I'm excited to have this signing because we've been in desperate need for a right back, but it's even better that he plays center back. But just like Lachlan Brook, he's also a starter. So we have two guys who are starting for their squads coming over here. So that's where I'm kind of confused. Is he going to be a starter or is he going to be coming off the bench? But kind of like Christian said, I can see him not getting minutes right away against Atlas or Houston, but it's going to be one of those he has to prove it that he is going to be a regular starter because we can't we can't brush off Bodie Hidalgo. Bodie Hidalgo he wasn't the greatest at the beginning of the season, but over the past couple of months, he's kind of awakened a bunch of the fans. Be like, okay, this guy's got speed. He can hustle back and help out Vera, help out Glad. So
Mhm.
how legit is Brown going to be?
Right. Yeah, I guess you guys make good points. I mean, obviously he has to. Obviously he has to prove himself. He obviously we don't want him to just walk onto the team and just be like, "Hey, I'm a starter." Everyone has had to prove themselves, and just like what you said, Marcos, it's a um, with Bodie doing so well as of late, doing both the center back and the right back stuff. I mean, it's kind of I don't know. I don't know. I personally would want to have him be a starter, just because he's been starting and
Yeah,
he's proven himself.
it definitely begs the question: what's going to happen next with Brody? Because we've seen as of lately, Hidalgo's been taking that spot, and when Brody when he does start or he comes off the bench, he's not the greatest per se. So does that mean he's going to get bumped further down the totem pole?
Hmm. Well, I mean, I definitely think that Brody with this signing is definitely going down the list.
Because we're seeing the same thing that's going to happen to Chang as well. Because obviously Lachlan is going to be playing that
Mhm.
position. Chang's going to be dropping down. So
And obviously these are really good acquisitions too. It's not like we're
Mhm.
getting $100,000 signings. We're
yeah,
getting the fact
Million
that
dollar signings.
this
According to Transfer Market, he's worth $1 million.
yeah.
$1 million. Yeah, because yeah, FOTMob has him as 1.1 as well. So this is a really good signing. But here's the thing: we all know there are going to be fans that won't be happy with this because they're like, "Where's my DP? Where's my big defender? Where's my big star? I need RSL to spend money." But guys, a
But a
million
million
dollars,
dollars.
$1 million on a defender? Are you kidding me?
It's rare. It's rare. And Kurt and Jason have said countless times over the past couple of months they're not going to be signing any starters. They're not getting any DPs. So let's be satisfied with these three signings that we got because they're good bench guys that are gonna help out when those guys are tired, like a Gomez, like a Hidalgo. So
I'm gonna have to like rewatch. Did he play against RSL? When
Let's
have we played them this year? Yeah, we have.
yeah,
yeah,
Oh,
let
he did.
He did.
Oh, and he got a good score. That's a
7.2.
Hmm.
All right. I'm becoming more convinced.
Now,
Now
now,
here's the
yeah, go ahead.
thing with people that are, upset, supposedly upset with RSL not, making massive moves and things like that. There are some realities that we have to take into account. There's the probability that we lose Andres Gomez in the offseason, and
Yeah.
there's
Mhm.
the possibility that Diego Luna leaves as well. So
Yeah.
what do you do? Do you, as a manager, do you go ahead and buy some bolster pieces now, or do you go out and buy a big person now and kind of bench those massive wing players? What I see, because I I give Gomez a 75% chance of leaving this season after
Hmm.
the season ending. Hopefully to Borussia Dortmund. That'd be great. I saw that rumor. I was like, ooh, yes.
Yeah.
And then Diego Luna 50-50. I could definitely see him staying around. And if Gomez does leave, that's when I want that DP slot to be used. That's when I want to see some heavier money being shelled out to buy somebody who can pair up with Chicho, who can pair up with Diego and Crooks in that midfield.
So you're wanting a DP winger.
Yeah. Because what's led to our success this year has been
Like,
our high octane offense, our
mhm.
aggressive high octane offense, and we need to continue that and get somebody who's worth the money to do that. Not saying our defense hasn't put in good work. Given our conditions this year, given everything that's happened this year, our defense has done a remarkable job, and they should
Mhm.
be very proud.
Yeah. Yeah. I totally agree. I mean, um, though I was talking to one of the soccer dads today, and I was like, look, would it be wrong for us to want to go for a DP defender at some point? I mean, everyone's crying out for a DP10, but what about a DP defender? Like, why can't
But
we?
at what point does RSL pull the trigger and be like, "Hey, enough of DP strikers, enough of the midfielders"? But at what point? Because I feel like we're obviously we're strong on our left with Catranis, we're strong in our center with Glad and Vera, but maybe that right. But I feel like not this season. Maybe in a couple seasons. So
Hmm, yeah, I just don't know. I think you're right, Marcos, in that sense that right now our defense I think is bolstered up right now. I think with Javane with this signing right now, I think it covers both center back and right back spots if we're lacking on either one. That puts one level of depth more on either position.
yeah.
And the nice thing here, thinking about that now, we can rotate Bodie with this.
Hmm. Yeah.
With because he's been a workhorse with putting in work, but we've seen games where he's just tired,
Yeah.
Hmm.
and that's been tough.
And I think I'm still going to cling on to the fact um, that Javane has the experience that we've been needing in the MLS. Bodie is still super young. What is he? 19 years old still, maybe 20. Um, we need someone who has years in the MLS. Javane has 4 years as a starter for the Whitecaps. Before that, he was playing in the Jamaican First League, First Division, which man. But I think with this
So
addition, I
s-
think it does add that level we need.
speaking of Vancouver, obviously they're playing as we speak. I'm looking at the player that's playing right back for them, Halbuni. The guy has barely had any playing time, so that kind of bites for Vancouver because they got to fill in that spot. Just shows you how much of an impact that Brown has played for Vancouver thus far this season.
Which and
How
on
did
top of
we
that,
grab him?
they let him go on waiver. They let him go.
So that begs the question: was there internal drama? Is he a problem in the locker room?
I don't think if he's been a starter for 4 years, I don't think he's a problem. Um, there
Uh,
might just I think this is he needed to move on.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
still
for
such
four seasons is
such a young player too. So I think we got the great end of this deal because not that often you see a right back that plays center back. So, like you said, Alan, this is going to come in handy when we're going to have center backs that are injured. Throw in Brown,
when?
have Hidalgo play on that right side. So this is going to be a solid move. I
I think
like this a lot.
I think that Brown's going to start, and then when he gets tired, we're going to throw in other players. That's what I think.
What can Brown do for you? That's what I'm saying.
Oh
He's
my
going to
gosh.
deliver. He's going to deliver. That's what he's going to do. I think that I'm excited for that one. Let's move into leagues cup, because right now we have a bunch of games. I mean, the leagues cup started last Friday, and just with Friday there was already drama. I don't know if you guys caught any of the games on Friday.
Caught some of them.
Ish.
The one game that I caught, and I'm glad that I caught it, was Pumas Austin.
Oh, what a game.
What a flippin' game is right. So, but let's just remind everyone, where did we have Austin? On
bottom
our,
of
our
bottom of their
bottom.
group.
Yep.
yeah, bottom. Austin in that game ended up winning 3-2, being down a man since the 40th minute. My friends, this Austin team, I don't know where they're getting their mojo right now, but MLS season is like horrible for them. But all of a sudden, they kicked it into gear.
I'm telling you, like some teams, they don't focus on they're like, yeah, we're not doing great in MLS season. Let's focus more on Leagues Cup. This one's more important for us, even though we're doing terrible in the regular season.
Right. And I guess the poll that we put out this morning, I know it was aimed at RSL, but I think maybe we can take it as for everyone else. How seriously is everyone taking Leagues Cup? And I'll give this one to you to start off, Marcos. How seriously do you think Mexican teams are taking it? How serious do you think MLS teams are taking it?
A 1 out of 10, I'm gonna have to go with like about a 5-6,
For who?
because like
For which league?
for Liga MX. For Liga
Okay.
MX, I would say Liga MX is about a 5-6, because yeah, they're putting forth the effort, like they're scoring goals, like they're making it competitive, but they're not getting like the results that they want. Like obviously Pumas not getting a great result against Austin, and other teams like unfortunate for Chivas. Like that was a huge upset. San Jose, bottom dwellers in the MLS, upsetting Chivas. Like nobody expected that one. So I would say Liga MX putting up a good effort, but not the results that anybody anticipated at all.
That's actually another one. That's another result that surprised me. Christian.
20 games. By the end of recording tonight, this is July 30th. By the end of tonight, 20 League Cup games will have been played.
Mm-hmm.
Mexican teams have won 2.
Oh, only 2.
That's it. That's 10% of the games. For those, for anybody who's watching on YouTube or was kind of see me looking, counting, that was me counting the number of games that have happened.
Mm-hmm.
Atlas has won.
Mm-hmm.
And
then tonight,
Pachuca.
Pachuca.
In penalties. On top
Penalties.
of
That is it.
Yep.
Liga MX is getting embarrassed hard in match day 1.
Should we look into that any further?
I think what it does, it'll be a wake up call for a lot of these teams. Atlas is going to come into this game with RSL confident because they won against a good Houston team. And I would dare say the rest of them are going to be like, holy crap, these MLS teams are here to play.
Yeah. Would you say another part of it has to do that Liga MX is 4 games into their season, whereas MLS, they're about 6 months into the season? But then again, they did have that break though. Liga MX had that break in between their season as well.
Yeah, they have the Apuratura and the Clasaura, and
yeah,
even still, I mean, you take a look at the Champions Cup that happens in North America, and that happens at the most random time in the middle of the beginning of some people's season, middle of others, end of others, and the teams still perform at a high level.
Well, here's another thing too. We should probably keep in mind that just because Clausura ended officially end of April, there were still some teams playing the playoffs all the way through almost the middle of May. So technically, some teams have only had a month and a half off before they started their season again. So it's not like that a huge. I mean, when did our season end? Beginning of November. When did we play again?
February.
End of February.
Yeah.
So I mean, so technically they only had a break long enough for if we were to end middle of November or beginning of November, it was like end of December, beginning of January, we would have already been playing again. So they didn't have enough time to even take a break. So I think they're still game ready. I think we might need to start talking about if MLS has already passed Liga MX in terms of quality.
Ooh.
We're seeing over the past couple of years more MLS players developing and then heading off to Europe or now off to Brazil to Botafogo. Very, very few you're seeing any Liga MX players make that jump over to any big name clubs. So
That's true.
I do agree. I think MLS is a big stretch ahead of Liga MX in that aspect.
But I do want to say this. It's not the fact that I don't want to say that we're not sending people over there because they're not developing them, whatever. What I'm saying is that the quality is getting better here, which means that we're able to sell better over to them.
Well, take a look at there's a friendly that was just played, and I think this speaks a lot to the quality of MLS right now. Columbus Crew versus Aston Villa.
Ooh, I know. Marcus was like, we talked about this.
That if you take a look at the club values, it's a separation of a degree of 10 between the two clubs, and Columbus Crew stomped all over Aston Villa.
Yeah.
Just absolutely just clobbered them. And if you were to take a look at club values, Columbus Crew does not have as valuable of a team. Like, even compared to MLS standards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, there is a huge disparity in value, but it was like a couple months ago, wasn't it like May or June when we talked about this topic roughly, how we said the MLS was probably mid-table, between mid-table championship and mid-table premiership.
Premier League.
Yeah,
It
Premier League.
shows.
It's showing, and in fact, I think we might have an argument to say that majority of MLS might be middle,
I
middle,
would still
bottom,
say
middle.
Premier.
I would still say bottom of Premier League.
I mean, do you think that RSL? Do you think RSL could take on Aston Villa? Do you
At our
think
best,
RSL?
yeah, and
Do
be
you think
competitive, yeah.
RSL could take on Everton? RSL
Oh
could
yeah.
take on Crystal Palace, Hull City. Wait, Hull City, I think is in the championship now.
Yeah, they're championship.
I'm starting to like list off any team at this point. But I think that we need to stop. I mean, granted, I might be a Euro snob too, but I think there's some truth in saying that MLS has improved in quality, and I think we can. I think honestly have that conversation that MLS can take on middle table.
So
Easy.
here's the thing about Americans when it comes to soccer, and this is a problem we see when looking at MLS or looking at the national team. We're suddenly good and competitive,
Mhm.
which means we're looking at comparing ourselves to the best in the world. But when we're not the best in the world, we think we suck when we don't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We take a look at the United States men's national team. We're ranked top 20 in the world is nothing to sneeze at all. At all. But since we're not top 10 or top 5, everyone's like, "Oh, the US likes soccer. We don't even know what soccer is."
Right.
I play for LA Galaxy, you know?
Yeah. It's you have a point there because I mean, you guys know me. I've fallen victim to this at many points in my soccer loving career. I've gone to the point where I'm like, MLS can't even beat Argentine teams, can't beat Brazilian teams. They definitely can't beat Mexican teams. They're probably just good enough to play against Hondurans and Costa Ricans. And
So
probably 20 years ago that was true. But
yeah,
if we look at it now, literally we're talking about top 5 leagues. We're sitting. I think personally, I think my opinion. I think we're sitting at 7 or 8 right now.
I'd say that's fair.
yeah. So Christian brought it up. Obviously, Columbus played Aston Villa. We saw Vancouver play Wrexham. Also, LA Galaxy played Bournemouth behind closed doors, which was kind of interesting to the public. So 3 MLS teams playing different teams for friendlies. do you feel like that's something that RSL should be doing more, doing these friendlies to get training to get prepared to play other teams? Obviously
Give us
not.
another give us another year or two.
Yeah, because obviously we did that when we played Man U, we played Inter Milan, brings in more butts to the seats. So
Is our issue bringing butts to the seats? I don't think that's our issue right now. I think we have enough fans.
I think those games honestly would be a distraction for our team right now.
Yeah.
An unnecessary distraction.
Because I was talking about Marcos the other day. I was like, but do we really need these friendlies? Because I mean, yeah, it'd be kind of cool to see
because
players that we.
I think it was the last time Ibrahimovic played for Man U. That's when they had the RSL Man U friendly and they played against each other. So that was kind of cool for fans to see those players that they never obviously get to see only on TV. But yeah, I can see your point. It'd be very distracting. You'd only see the starters like Chicho Gomez get maybe what 20, 30 minutes, and then it'd just be Monarchs players the rest of the time. So
I
Well,
mean, that might be extreme, but yeah, we definitely wouldn't be playing our hearts out for this game because really these kind of games are for marketing purposes. That's all.
yeah, yeah,
and we're on the board.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that I mean, Chicho has already been on the radar for a year or two before we signed him, but people are now noticing us. We're obviously top five, top six in this league. Um, Gomez is valued at probably leaving for $15 million, which
easily, easily.
that's crazy. We just sold a 17-year-old that we had for 6 months for $4 million. I mean, we're on the board.
RSL's turning into a place where players outside can say, "Hey, this is a good club where I can be competitive and be seen at the top leagues in the world." Like
I could definitely see us over the years turning into what Seattle was a couple years ago, into where Rui Diaz, where Ladero, where these international players want to go as a landing spot.
I mean, could be. Yeah. I don't think you're wrong. I do think though we do have a philosophy here where we like to develop young players. And that's why
Definitely.
that's why we looked at Lachlan. He's
Yeah.
23 years old, and I think he has a lot of potential to be better than Australian A League. And so that's why I think he came and is looking for a different challenge, for example. I mean, and then obviously we can talk about Gomez, Luna, um, heck, even
Beavers.
Beavers, Ojeda. Ojeda came from Nottingham, 21 years old, because he wasn't getting time over there. Here, he shipped up his playing style, and now he's good enough to go back. I think at some point. So yeah, wow, we totally went somewhere that I didn't expect, but um, I really think that I think MLS's quality is up there to where now it's enjoyable to talk about MLS, be a fan of the MLS, and compare it with other leagues.
Yeah, because tonight as we record, the game finished up. Austin beating Monterrey, which is huge because
That is
That's
massive.
that is
huge.
huge because Austin finishes atop of the group at 6 points. So
We were so wrong.
we were whoever predicted Austin to
Oh,
get first. Kudos to you guys. Kudos. Like
Um,
Austin totally flipped the switch, and they're taking this cup seriously.
by the way, Austin was the 16th seed.
Were
Just so
they
you guys
really?
know. No, I'm just saying in terms of March Madness.
Oh,
So they just totally blew out of the water Monterey. Pumas. I think Pumas isn't Pumas on top of
yeah,
their table?
they are. They
yep.
are.
Flip. And so that means that this Pumas Monterey game is gonna be killer. That's gonna be cutthroat.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
it's win or go home, literally.
Uh, yes. Um, and not to mention right now, I'm surprised, just like you are, LAFC is losing to Vancouver,
Who are now missing a right back.
who are now missing.
Wait, actually, are they? Hold on, let me take a look.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
he's not,
the guy who's starting right back, he's never played before. He's a guy who rides on the bench.
Oh, that's right,
bro.
bro.
Um,
So
that
Vancouver being up 2-0 at halftime, they jumped to first place.
that's ridiculous. That's
I'm starting to
crazy.
like Leagues Cup a little bit here. Knock on wood.
Just a little. So I guess may bring up a sub point. There's been a lot of protests regarding Leagues Cup. There's been a lot of supporter groups that have just totally gone MIA. One specifically is Atlanta. Atlanta just did not show up at all. I don't know if anyone saw the stadium
That
pictures.
that was disappointing. That was very disappointing to not see anybody there.
Their protest was because they didn't get invited to Open Cup, and so they're like, if we didn't get invited to Open Cup, we're not going to support Leagues Cup. Cool, good for them.
Those are two different issues. Open, it's disappointing to see what the Open Cup has turned into.
Yeah,
it's a fantastic tournament that I think should be continued. I mean, take a look at what the Premier League does. They do the Premier League, the FA Cup, and what's that
The
third?
Carabao.
The Carabao Cup. Yeah, they have 3
Mhm.
cups that they do during the season. We can do the same thing. We
Yeah.
can still do MLS Cup.
and on top of all that, Champions League,
Mhm.
Europa, and Conference.
Like, yeah, I understand these fans' frustration that they weren't selected to be in this cup this season, but this
You
is
don't
this is
want
free.
more games?
I was like, this is free soccer. Instead of one winner, instead of the Open Cup winner going to the champions, you get 3. So top 3, which is a lot better.
Yeah, but I mean that's a huge in-depth conversation. That
Yeah. So
man, I don't know if I
it,
want to touch that yet.
yeah, it's definitely unfortunate for Atlanta. Philly is another fan base as well. St. Louis as well. So we'll see how much that's going to affect the team on the pitch because
St. Louis
yeah,
got a result without their fans.
yeah.
A
It-
big
yeah,
result too.
yeah, it's
Well,
true.
along with Philadelphia as well. Philadelphia did pick up a win as well.
Yeah. So then, let's talk about one more Leagues Cup game, and then we'll transition. Houston Atlas, just because obviously we play against both of them. Marcos, give me your thoughts on that match. I think it was on Sunday, wasn't it?
Yeah, correct. Correct.
Saturday.
Saturday.
It was over the weekend. Yeah,
What do you got?
this one was a really good, intense game. As expected, you have great attacking players on Houston. Carrasquilla back, Basi, Aliyu. You have Ponce, who has kind of riding the bench. Their new signing, so huge, big signing that is starting up top. And I guess player for me to watch out for in Atlas in this game is Murillo on that right mid. Very similar to Andres Gomez in that fast attacking player. So that's kind of worrisome for me.
And in the looks, if you guys look at,
And in the looks. And of course they have Vargas, who as Argentines are familiar with, very scary keeper for Colombia.
oh yeah, he is
Yeah.
was or used to be is I should say is or was the Colombian national goalkeeper. Um, he's a very good keeper, but
No,
eh,
he started in Copa America.
fine, then you're right.
Yeah.
He is then. um, yeah, I'm actually pretty concerned about this Atlas squad. They look solid. Oh, and by the way, I don't know if you guys knew this. Random fact. If the a Mexican player has 3 digits on the back of their jersey, that means he comes from that club's academy.
Oh, did not know that.
I was listening to the Spanish broadcast on one of these games, and they mentioned that. I was like, oh, didn't know
So
that.
how do we get that in the MLS?
It's a I don't know if it's a club thing, if it's a league thing, but for instance,
Let us do
Rios.
our own thing.
Yeah, for Rios on Atlas, who played against Houston. He played 75 minutes. He comes from their academy. Maybe if I click on him, yeah, 20 years old. So I mean, he's probably a newbie. But anyways, beside the point. Um, they have a very solid team. Their back line is absolutely solid. Saldivar, Aguirre, Mora, Reyes. Those guys are all solid. Now, I guess we'll do a slight transition. We'll kind of mix it up a little bit, but with who we have as our front attack against their Atlas's back four, to be honest, I'm worried. I don't think we have what it takes in order to get past these guys. I mean, Houston having Ponce, Aliu, Basi, Carrasquilla, Herrera, all of them couldn't get past them. What is
and
that?
and playing at home too.
And playing at home. So, I mean, what does that leave us?
Yeah,
I mean,
that
I would dare say that we have a stronger attacking squad than Houston. Not by much, but I would dare say we have a stronger. We have more. I mean, obviously it's mostly through Chicho, but we have more goals. We have more offense production. I think they can be up to the task. Will they be up to the task is another question altogether. Can they be up to the task? Absolutely. Um, but it needs to be done with a healthy respect with Atlas and what they've brought to the beginning of this tournament and the beginning of their season.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that these 10, 12 days off from the last time that we played against Colorado up until this game on Thursday against Atlas will definitely help. That Pablo and his staff have been training hard to know what kind of Atlas team that they're getting themselves into, because getting a win in Houston is a difficult task, and the fact that they were able to do that is impressive. So,
And that I want to hit on that point that you mentioned, Marcos, is the days of rest that we've had. 12 days it'll be from the Colorado game to the Atlas game. 12
mhm.
days. Um, with an all-star game in the middle where two of our players got Glad got 45 minutes and Luna got 15, 20 minutes at the
Yeah.
most.
Yeah,
So the training speed is not the same as game speed. We all know that. I'm worried that when RSL comes back, they will not be game ready. And I feel like it. I personally, I'm only mentioning it because I think it's a legit concern. You can practice to have great practices all you want, but going up against an Atlas team that, if I'm looking at their, um, looking at their fixture, they were playing games up until July 19th, and then that was the Friday before Leagues Cup, and then they got into Leagues Cup the next Saturday. So it was like a normal league schedule.
mhm.
We got the short end of the stick
Yeah.
on this one, and that's where I'm kind of frustrated with how the scheduling went down with this, because RSL, I I think, one, they had too much time to rest, and two, it's a super quick turnaround to go play against Houston from Thursday to Monday. I don't know. I don't know. Do you
Thanks,
guys?
Don.
Yeah,
I,
thanks,
I, I
Don.
can I can see the concern there. Again, just like I've been saying this entire season, how we start this game is going to dictate a lot. And yeah, I hope it, if any of the players are listening to this, take it back. Obviously, just note that. I mean, I believe in this team.
Yeah.
Um, I think that we can definitely, like I said, I think our front line is stronger, and we can make results against this Atlas team. That being said, I don't think it will be scoreless for either team.
Oh, all right. I guess one thing to keep in mind, Aguirre is their leading goal scorer. But in Clausura, he wasn't like a prolific goal scorer either. He's their forward, but he's not like an all-star forward. He's not a guy that'll put up double-digit goals in a season. I mean, if you look at his stats from the past couple of seasons, in a whole year, in 29 games, he put in 7 goals for Atlas.
He's already put in 3.
3 in 5 games.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
But 2 of them were in 1 game. And it was against Puebla right before coming to Leagues Cup. So, eh,
Still
eh.
pretty good.
Interesting to know their other Aguirre, their center back Aguirre, he's a whopping 5'8".
Oh,
So I don't know.
that's nice to know. I mean,
It's a
Crooks
short,
doesn't have to jump.
short center back.
Okay. I was gonna say you're not one to talk.
Yeah,
Um,
Mr. 5'5". Oh, we
When
gave
when I'm
away.
wearing my platforms, it's a 5'6".
you hear that,
Nice.
ladies? He owns platforms.
It's
That's
true.
funny.
It's true.
One good thing though, taking a look at RSL, you know what's getting shorter? Speaking of shortness,
What?
our injured players list.
That's
Oh,
true.
We are down,
That's true.
according to FOTMob, we are down to 4 players on the injured list. Eric
also,
Holt, who is doubtful, Kevin Bonilla, who's supposed to come back late October, so he might ride the bench for playoffs. Marcelo Silva, early August 2024. Pablo Ruiz, early August 2024.
okay,
But Marcelo, according to Instagram, and he was training with the team yesterday.
that's what I was gonna say. I saw the team with their photos. You can, if you zoom in, you saw Marcelo practicing,
El Tenque.
but I don't think he's gonna play ever again.
No, 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 no. You don't
That,
want
that
to
was that was a
risk.
fast no.
No, I'm just saying you don't want to
Ever
risk.
again.
You don't want to risk an injury like that. But I'm not saying ever again.
But I
I'm
am
like
saying ever again.
Hmm.
that's kind of bold of you. That's very very bold.
But I mean, but think, where would you put? I mean, I'm not saying where would you put him, but as in like, do we really need a 35-year-old center back right now?
I would say keep him, obviously until the end of the season, but for like garbage minutes.
But what garbage minutes do we have? Think
Garbage
defense.
minutes if a player's injured. I mean that kind of sense.
I think he's going to be down to like fourth or fifth string. To be honest, I
Yeah,
I honestly think that at this point Holt might be over him because of youth. I think he'd be a great mate guy on the bench. Just have him serve everyone mate.
I
I
don't.
mean,
I think we could see, especially depending on how the team performs defensively over the next couple of games, we could see him get rotations in if he's healthy and cleared to play.
yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
Because because suddenly we're about to have depth in our backline that we haven't had in months.
Yeah.
And that's a
Yeah.
big deal.
And yeah, and it just makes you wonder. And we'll have this conversation closer to the end of the season, but wonder who's going to be leaving for. Yeah, who's gonna be leaving because we have every position filled with depth. I think personally,
That's
I think
something that we have not had in quite some time.
yeah, which is good. This is good. Um, let's guys, prediction time for RSL Atlas. What do you think,
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Marcos?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like this game on Thursday, winner of this wins the group. So this is for all the marbles. Whoever doesn't want to play America, and I'm sure RSL is coming into this that they want to take this tournament seriously. We're gonna be at home. Fans are gonna be here. I'm going for a 2-1 win for RSL.
Ooh, that's intense, Christian.
I agree. I think it's gonna be 2-1 victory for RSL. I think Marcos nailed it. Whoever wins this wins the group. Um, yeah, and we need the win. We are on a 3-game winless streak.
Definitely need the win. Um, I'm gonna be maybe a little bit more pessimistic, and because the Houston Atlas game went 1-0. I think this is going to be a little bit more battled. Well, it's going to be just as battled. So I'm going to go a 1-0 for RSL. This one's going to be a hard one. And I don't know. This will be a battle for first place. Maybe. I'm still stuck on that one. But let's move forward. Let's talk a little bit more about Houston now.
Now, I guess going Atlas and Houston, with this, do you feel like we're going to see Beavers in both games or maybe just one game?
That's a very good question. I don't know. I'll give a short answer. I'll say McMath against Atlas and Beavers against Houston. Christian?
I think that's a fair guess. Honestly, to me, it'd be whoever's doing better in training right now. I don't know. I haven't been able. I have a job outside of this, so I can't go to trainings. But it's whoever's whoever's doing better in training right now will be the starter against Atlas. The other one will be the starter against Houston.
Yeah.
I mean,
Completely dependent on performance as well.
Definitely.
we're looking at performances like you just said. We're on a 3-game winless streak, where in 2 of those games, McMath has been having blunders. So, I mean, I don't think we can let that skirt by
No,
without thinking twice about putting him in these kind of games. I think though that I think they're going to be looking at experience, especially against Atlas, because Atlas should be a more elevated. I mean, we're going back to the conversation of Liga MX versus MLS. Um, Liga MX should have better teams. Um, and that's why I think Beavers is going to go against an MLS team.
I think that's fair.
Who knows? Who knows? But it would make the most sense to go switch them back and forth, because if one keeper is getting both gains, then it doesn't seem as fair, because these are kind of the moments where you want development to happen.
Now here's a big thing for this Houston game. Carrasquilla
Oh my
got
gosh.
got injured. He came off in the 27th minute.
Ooh, that was definitely huge for us. Definitely
So
huge.
so I haven't read, seen, heard what the injury is or what the outcome is going to be for Monday, but definitely one to keep an eye on. Go ahead, Christian, look it up. um,
I,
it,
I
it,
just want
this is
to.
one to keep an eye on because of how influential Carrasquilla is. He came back from playing with Panama at Copa America, and then he's been playing well since he came back. He had played a game or two with Houston, but to come off in the 27th minute of this game, it, in fact, if maybe if they had a little bit more in depth of stats, you could see that in the second half, it, I don't know. I think Carrasquilla's influence is felt, but it seems that Houston was able to make up for whatever influence. I mean, they put in Latif Blessing. Latif Blessing comes in with speed. I mean,
Yeah, I was gonna
that,
say.
that helps. But Carrasquilla has the a lot of the brains
Yeah,
behind what's going on.
he's the operator of their midfielder. It's the equivalent of taking off an Andres Gomez, because Gomez and Luna are kind of the dictators, the operators of that midfielder. So it'll be a huge blow for them if he's not 100%, if he's not able to even play for Monday. But I think having Blessing for that replacement will still be good for them. Like you said, he is that speed. Um, but even if it's Blessing starting, they don't really have any other backups to Blessing.
Right, and that that's good for us. It really is good for us. Now,
Yeah,
another thing that's good for us is that Escobar, Franco Escobar, who's normally their starter at left back, he got subbed out, but because he got a yellow card, which means that if he does start against us and plays, and he gets a second yellow, if they qualify for the next round, he cannot play that first game because of a double yellow card. So we could see a replacement for him. I doubt it, but if he's that important to them, they might think twice about putting him back in the defensive line.
Now, Carrasquilla is not shown as on the injured list.
Okay, so it could have just been a game knock.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Nelson Quinones is still out though.
that's good.
that's
I hope
a
he
good sign.
recovers after the
Let
game.
him let him recover after the game. That's just totally fine for me. Dude, do we play Houston again the rest of
One
the
more
season?
time.
One more time. Yep.
When is that
One
game?
more time.
Not until September.
Oh, not like the
September's next month, Marcos.
no, don't say that. We're still in July. Why you gotta do that?
So a month and 2 days away.
Look, I can still say my birthday's next month.
For now.
That's right. For now.
Two more days. um, I'm still worried about Houston's front line. You guys will call me crazy, but still, Houston has still players that still have really good influence, like Basi, Artur, Aliu, and just like what Marco said, playing them in Houston is, I think it's still difficult for us.
I feel like we did it the first time against Houston. Obviously, that game was here. The only difference from that last time we played Houston, they didn't have Ponce, their new signing. Carrasquilla was still playing for in Copa America, so those are the two difference. But other than that, I'm not too worried because
We have some
Chicho will be
difference.
back. Chicho will be back.
Yes, we failed to mention that Chicho, his last game suspended is against Atlas, and that means this first game against Houston. Well, first game. This game against Houston is his first game back from suspension.
So that will definitely make a difference in our attack because Julio won't be starting any more games, which will be good because we'll have Julio coming off the bench. So I'm not too worried at all going into this one, depending on obviously how Thursday's game goes. Because obviously, if it's not the result that we want, if it's RSL gets a loss, then this is going to be a dogfight on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And which makes it even. I obviously it makes it better. It makes it for great games,
Entertainment.
great entertainment. But I hate the stress of having to dig myself from a hole. If we don't get the result that we need to against Atlas, you're right. This game against Houston is going to be a dogfight, and we already did the dogfighting against Houston last year, which was not cool. 3 games, and we get eliminated in both competitions.
Because I
It
think the worst part of all, if obviously if RSL does get eliminated, we get third, we don't play again until August 24th. So that's 2 weeks away. So that's why we need to get out of group stage because I don't think Pablo and his staff want to be sitting around for 2 weeks just training against the same old guys over and over. So we got to escape this group stage.
Also, I don't want to talk to you guys about anything else besides soccer. There's really nothing. Sorry, guys. What are we gonna do
Wow.
for what are we gonna do for 19 days?
Talk
Talk
about
Leagues Cup.
life.
You want to talk about life, Christian?
Yeah. Or
Oh,
just
okay.
catch up as family, you know?
Just have a family podcast. Weird. You guys are weird. Um, let's throw down a prediction time for this one. RSL Houston. Christian.
1-0 RSL.
Oh, that's delicious.
I like it. I like it. 6 points right there. Um, I think, like I said, this is going to be a tough battle, depending on how Thursday's game goes against Atlas. But I'm going to go 1-1. This game goes into PKs. RSL finds a way to win in PKs.
I'm gonna go against all y'all. This is what's gonna happen. Beginning of July, we did really well, which means I think we figured them out, and I don't think Houston has figured themselves out. I think this is gonna be a 2-0 in their house.
Whew,
I like your words, funny man.
that's some good cooking right there.
Oh, it's gonna be some sweet cooking. Some would say some southern barbecue. Christian, is southern barbecue really all that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right.
It's
We're
it's the
gonna.
buddy. It's the American parishada.
Huh. Like I've had some good barbecue, but I've never had.
You will you try Southern barbecue and pick your favorite. Southern, Nashville, Carolina. Pick your favorite. You come back to Utah and try R&R like, ooh.
You can tell this episode's not sponsored by
R&R barbecue or anybody else.
or anybody for
Please
the
sponsor
moment.
us.
I think you said that already once in an episode. Like, please, someone.
Please sponsor us. So we can do this full time.
Yeah, we would love to leave our day jobs. Oh my gosh. All right. I need you guys' last soccer thoughts before we head out. We're gonna start with you, Marco, since Christian had the prediction time.
Yeah. Leagues Cup officially kicks off for RSL in 2 days, and boy, am I excited.
You don't sound like
So
it.
no, this is gonna be fun. Like RSL, pack the stadium, show up early on Thursday, get loud, because this isn't a very important tournament. So we need to show the team that we care about this tournament. So let's do this.
Christian, what you got?
Yeah, show up. Wear claret and cobalt. There's already gonna be red and white there, so wear claret and cobalt. Show up, be loud. Show Liga MX how proud we are of this team and the
Amen.
gumption that we have. And let's just have a grand old time.
Grand old time. I did hear some complaints that this was a midweek game, which we're gonna have to hit on this topic a little bit later about fandom and midweek games. I think we might have some issues there. But yes, we would love to have everyone there. We're still in the we'll see if some of us will be there.
TBD.
TBD. But whether we're watching or not, that's not in the question. That's not a question. We'll be there.
Oh no.
Never a question.
We will never miss watching an RSL game.
It's
So
true. We were even at our grandma's birthday party and we were watching the game.
it's facts. It's facts. I've been at a funeral watching RSL. So
we were.
Oh. Oh.
We'll leave it at that. We won't say
I'm
where.
sad now.
We'll confess afterwards with Christian. No worries.
God.
Well, on that note,
Hey.
Marco, send us off. Wait, what?
Oh, I was just gonna plug in our Leagues Cup bracket challenge is off the hook. We've got over 20 brackets. So
Yeah.
thank you to everybody who signed up.
shout out to everybody.
Wild.
May the best bracket win.
Mine.
Anybody that picked Austin, that's the true winner right there.
Kudos.
Yeah,
Kudos.
seriously. Marco, send us off.
Absolutely. If you guys are not already, head over to Instagram, head over to Twitter, follow us at the RSL Bros, listen to us on the go, Spotify, Apple, watch us right here on YouTube.
Yep, I think you got it.
So we will catch you guys next week. We will break down how RSL does in these next two Leagues Cup games.
all right.
Until
cool.
then, enjoy, watch lots of soccer.
Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.